Well, hello, kitty cat, kitty, coo, and the Morgan. Oh, back away from your speakers. There's going to be a loud noise for a minute here. Sorry. I had to turn the mic back up. I just changed the mic. So I hope the audio is, not as crackly. I had to put a windscreen on it because that right there is a giant box fan. Yes, 1976. Montgomery Wards at its best. I got the AC on, but it's not able to keep up and circulate the cool temperatures in here and drop it. It is 104 right now outside. I've got it down to 76 degrees in here, but still hot. Even at 76 degrees, it's hotter than I want it to be. Good evening, Inner Peas, Morgan, Kitty Q. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope that we all had a great day today. Change of plans, says Kitty Q. My dad and my husband are going to watch a movie, so I think I can play. Glad you get to watch. Well, I'm glad you can be part of it today. Little Linda is here. Good evening, little Linda. Welcome to tonight's trivia. And Inner Peas is hot there. No AC at all. I am truly sorry about that, Inner Peas. That has got to be terrible. Do you have a fan? You can help cool your space off with a fan. You just take like a bowl of like ice and put it in front of the fan so it blows over the ice, and then sit somewhere near in the direction of the fan blowing. That can help. Make your own homemade AC unit, as long as you have ice in it. Good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great weekend. It is way too hot for me. Inner Peas has got a fan in every room. That's still not enough. I would need AC to drop the temperature. I mean, it's gonna by Wednesday here. It's gonna be 112 on Wednesday. And Lemon Pie, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be 106. Tuesday, 110, and then Wednesday is 110 to 115, somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly, but I think it said 116. And then Thursday, only 99 degrees. That's an improvement on Thursday, and then Friday it goes right back up again to the triple digits for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's hot here, but bearable where you are, Sal. And this is everywhere across the United States. This heat wave has got everybody in its grips. I was talking to a couple of friends on a live stream this morning, and they one is in Florida and the other one is in Ohio, and both of them are just absolutely miserable with the heat right now. Amazing Lover. Good evening, William. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you are doing well. Glad you could be here with us tonight for trivia. I was roasting outside here in Madisonville. I bet. And where little Linda is, it's a balmy 99 where little Linda is. All right. Well, 88 on the East Coast, but the humidity is what gets you. Yeah. All right. Let's get the trivia going. The sooner we get this going, we can get into it and enjoy something besides me just rambling on. All right. Little known facts about killers. These are according to the FBI and DOJ. And let me read you the case for the study. It is 32114 A as in apple, J. That is the case number 32114 A as in apple, J as in jumping jacks. I don't know. Jim. No, that'd be a G. I can't think of anything else right off the top of my head. Too hot. But anyways, these are all the facts. The study was done and completed 110 of 2023, so a little over a year old. Serial killers have long fascinated and horrified society, and while many details about their crimes are well documented, some lesser known facts can provide a deeper understanding of these individuals and their actions. Understanding these lesser known aspects of a serial killer can help demystify them and provide crucial insights into their behaviors and the societal factors that contribute to their development. And good evening, Gianna Marie. I'm glad you could make it tonight for trivia, Gianna Marie, and welcome. All right. Question number 1 is now on your screen, and you will notice a lack of photos again in all of these. Next week, we will be back to just one subject matter, and we will be back to having photos in every one. I am truly sorry, but I'm not going to pay Getty Images anymore. I don't want to play their games. But between 1920 and 2020, violent crime has gone up and it's gone down. What year were most of the serial killers in the U.S. history most active? Is it A, 1990, B, 1980, C, 1987, or D, 1997? Question number 1, little known facts about killers. Purple, good evening, Purple, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you are doing well and staying cool, because my gosh, it is hot as hell where I am. I'm guessing it's probably in the triple digits over where you are as well. These photos give me nightmares. You don't have to worry about that tonight. There's only a couple that have actual photos. Kiddick is going to go B, question mark. The Morgan, D. John Marie and Lemon Pie are going C. Amazing Lover and Sal are going with B. Smoke them if you got them. Between 1920 and 2020, violent crime has gone up and it has gone down. What year were the most serial killers in U.S. history most active? The answer to question number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is C as in cat. 1987. We saw the largest spike and the most activity from serial killers across the U.S. nation. And this includes Alaska and Hawaii as well. Yes, there are serial killers in Alaska and in Hawaii. But 1987. If you're wondering how many serial killers were active according to the Department of Justice and the FBI, in 1987, they saw a total of 146 active cases where a serial killer claimed another body, another victim. 146. All right. Question number 2. Dual answers. What country has had the most active serial killers since 1900, and which country's serial killers kill the most victims? Is it A, America and Spain, B, America and America, C, America and USSR, or D, America and Canada? What country has had the most active serial killers since 1900, and which country's serial killers killed the most victims? Doo-doo. Hello, Will in this little window. Hello. Did I miss someone? Oh, scrolling up. Good evening, Julie Page, and welcome to Faith for Long. Good evening to both of you, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. Hope you both had a terrific weekend. Question number 2 of 20. What country has had the most active serial killers since 1900, and which country's serial killers kill the most? Lemon pie. E, America, and F, yeah. Question number 2. All right. Question number 2. The correct answer is B as in boy, America and America. In case you're wondering, if you want to put these in order for first, second, third, and fourth, it goes B is America for both categories. Most serial killers, most actual victims for America. Number 2 in second place is America and USSR. Number 3 is A, America and Spain. And D is Canada would be in the fourth place, barely. They actually have very few serial killers who have been active in Canada. We seem to import them into the United States. We open our borders and our lands to the be free. Do what you need to do in America. Oops, I don't think we were meaning to import serial killers, but we seem to attract them. All right, question number 3. Which serial killer from below averages over 29 million Wikipedia searches per year, along with over $3 million annually in revenue? Is it A, John Wayne Gacy, B, Big Tex Ricky Large, C, Jeffrey Dahmer, or D, Ted Bundy? Which serial killer averages over 29 million Wikipedia searches per year, along with over $3 million in annual revenue? And how does a serial killer, because all of those serial killers are dead, how do they make money? From their likeness and using it in actual merchandise. People pay a fee to put their picture on cups, toilet paper, t-shirts, hats. But some of when it comes to these companies that manage the former stars like Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, serial killers, they're part of their portfolios as well. These companies are publicly traded on the U.S. Stock Exchange, so you can invest in the company if you want. But they control the licenses and they take in the revenue for these deceased individuals, and that's all they ever that they look after. They only look after stars and killers and stuff like that are dead, not anybody who's alive. Of the 3 million, the family probably got maybe 1 million, somewhere in there. Whoever is the sole heir of the estate, most likely the money goes to a law firm, and that law firm then distributes it out amongst all the other family members, if there are multiple family members. But which one is it? 29 million average per year. That's just Wikipedia. That is not including Google searches. Barry freaking Morphew. Lemon Pie's going with Pauly Shore. Give us your poor, your tired, and your serial killers, right? All right, question number 3. The correct answer is D as in dog, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, 29 million Wikipedia searches per year on average. The highest it ever got was 37 million in 1 year, and that was in the year 2020. 37 million people searched for Ted Bundy on Wikipedia and actually read, I'm assuming, his profile on Wikipedia. But over $3 million annually is earned by Ted Bundy's likeness. Unfortunately, this happens not just with serial killers, but all former stars, movie stars, musicians, anybody who is ever famous. There is a plethora of items that are out there that the family will never get any revenue for because people are using his likeness on merchandise and selling it and not paying the royalty to the actual license holder, which a certain company that has the license for the merchantability of his likeness. And that goes for protection of the names and stuff like that, just like Marilyn Monroe and James Dean. And I use both of those as an example because there's a lot of merchandise out there that is not being paid for. Elvis Presley is number 1 on the list, in case you're wondering about merchandise for somewhat of a foreign star. I mean, not a a former star who is dead. James Dean and Marilyn Monroe are like 2 and 3. People like Ted Bundy are way, way down the list for merchandising. But there are people who still put Jeffrey Dahmer on T-shirts and Bundy and Gacy. So, all right, the next one is blank. So I'm going to you're going to see a flash and then the actual question number 4. Question number 4. What year did serial killers become popular? Meaning, what year did society start its fascination with serial killers? Was it A, 1928, B, 1912, C, 1811, or D, 1726? Barry Morphew. Yeah, we can make fun of Barry Morphew and Snooki and the Jersey Shore and the 144,000 Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow because their names and their likeness are in the public domain. They're not none of them have copyrighted their names or their likeness. They are in the popular culture, the news cycle, if you will. I wish we never had to know who Barry Morphew was. It's a hell of a lot cheaper to get a divorce than it is to, spend 30 years of your life in prison for killing the person. NRP is 1999. Amazing Love is going to go 1928. I'm at a loss with these. I'm going to have to rewatch later and take notes. LOL. All right, you do that, Kitty Q. Maybe sit down, watch TV, movie with your husband and dad, and say hello to your dad and your husband for us all. What year did serial killers become popular? Meaning, what year did society start its fascination with serial killers? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, to question number 4 is B as in boy, 1912. And the reason why it started with 1912 is the industrialized printing press and people being able to buy, and collect what you could basically are dime store, romance novels and crime genre. in itself really took off in 1912 with magazines and books that were geared just towards that area. But 1912, and we've had the fascination around the world ever since then with serial killers and serial crimes in itself. People who commit the same acts over and over again: serial killers, serial rapists, serial robbers, serial bank heists, you name it. 1912. Oh, 500 BC. All right, question number 5. According to the Department of Justice and the FBI, in order to be listed as a serial killer in their database, the killer or killers must take how many lives with cooling periods? Is it A, 5 or more, B, 10 or more, C, 144,000, or D, 3 or more? According to the Department of Justice and the FBI, in order to be listed in their as a serial killer in their database, a killer or killers must take how many lives with cooling periods? Question number 5 of 20. Sal, Morgan, Little Linda, and Kitiku are all going with D, and Gianna Marie and Faith Furlong are going with D, as well as Lori Sutton. Good evening, Lori Sutton. Welcome to the next trivia. Sorry I missed you earlier. I could use a cooling period, right? A nice margarita with big grains of salt. I'll take my traveler's checks to a competing resort. Purple is going with D. Lemon pie is going with A. Question number 5. E. Be a serial killer. You must eat at least 5 bowls of cereal per day. Da da da. Cement shoes. I'm late. Sorry. That's all right, cement shoes. You're earlier than everybody else who isn't here. I hope you had a terrific weekend so far. Still Sunday, but I hope your weekend went well. I hope you're able to stay cool wherever you are, because it's hot as hell outside. Question number 5. According to the Department of Justice and the FBI, in order to be listed as a serial killer in their database, a killer or killers must take how many lives with cooling periods? In order to be listed as a serial killer in the Department of Justice and the FBI's database, you must, the correct answer is D as in dog. You must kill 3 or more to be considered a serial killer. But there is going to be a very interesting conference in next year. The Department of Justice, the FBI, and they're all going to get together along with other scholars in the area who have researched serial killers, and they may very well move that number from 3, to be the minimum to be considered a serial killer, to moving it to a minimum of 4 or 5. A lot of them want to move it to 4. A lot more want to move it to 5 in order to be considered a serial killer. Even with the cooling, you must have cooling off periods, because otherwise you basically a spree killer or just a killer. So if you don't have the cooling off periods, if you do it all one day. All right, question number 6. In the year 2019, the last complete year of the study on active serial killers, there were 299 known female serial killers in all of the world and history. How many men were there around the world and history in that by the year 2019? So anyone who was discovered as a serial killer in 2020, 2021, 22, 23, or 24 would not be counted in this. But how many serial killers around the world throughout history have been men? Is it A, 2,980, B, 3,120, or C, 6,210, or D, 2,832? Oh, it boosts the number for the crazies to get. Just one more. Got to make that 300. How many men have been serial killers around the world all the way up to the year 2019, the last year of the study? And the newest one will come out next year at the actual study, in conference with the Department of Justice, scholars in criminology, and the Department of Justice in 2025. We will get much more inner P's. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed. That's funny. 4 out of 5 dentists. Question number 6 of 20. How many men have been serial killers throughout history in the world? Purple's going with C, Faith Furlong. Is B, Lori D. Inner P's. I like the Inner P's answer. That's fine. E. 4 out of 5 dentists. 4 out of 5 dentists recommend staying alive because otherwise they go out of business. All right, question number 6. The correct answer is C as in cat. Going back through history and around the world, there have been 6,210 known serial killers who have identified as male. 6,210 have been serial killers who are men. And look at that. Just 299 as of 2019 have been female. Again, it's such a small fraction, percentage of the total number of serial killers are female. That's why everybody out there who studies, in criminology and law enforcement, they want to know everything they can about women who kill. Women kill for completely different reasons. Serial killers is what I'm speaking of, not just murder. Like, hey, he pissed me off one last time. I'm going to effing kill him. And they kill their husband or boyfriend or whoever. But not talking about them. I'm talking about just serial killers. 299 as of 2019. But they kill for vastly different reasons. Did you know? While the majority of known serial killers are male, there are also female serial killers who often employ different methods and have different motivations. Female serial killers are more likely to use poison and may kill for financial gain over personal relationships. That is why women kill. Men, every known serial killer who has ever been caught and studied has killed, and there has been some form of sexual motivation with every single one of every known male serial killer. A sexual motivation. either a desire, a release. There has been some component of a sexual motivation somewhere in the reasons why they kill. Either getting back at someone who looks like someone that scorned them, but and they're getting back at them and they're doing what they always wanted to do to that original person. But there's some sexual motivation with every single known serial killer that has ever been caught alive and actually studied. All right. Question number 7. Serial killers do what they do because, well, that's what they do. There are different reasons, though, why they kill. What is the second most reason why? Is it A, to get their rocks off? B, power and control? C, to piss off Barry Morphew? Or D, to give 411 now trivia questions? Serial killers do what they do because, well, that's what they do. There are different reasons, though, why they kill. What is the second most reason why they kill? The Bee Gees in your head. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Yeah, I can't hit those notes like Barry. Lieutenant RN, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Lieutenant RN, I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Serial killers do what they do because, well, that's what they do. There are different reasons, though, why they kill. Jersey Shore won't go away, says Lemon Pie. To be trivia stars, says Cement Shoes. Why do they do it? What is the second most reason why? Question number 7 of 20. Because the situation, hey, left-handed RN. Because of the situation. I'm totally late. Sprinkle Donut. Good evening. Lost track of time. Hello, everyone. Sprinkle Donut. Good evening. And I'm glad you were able to make it, though. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope that you had a great weekend. Sprinkle Donut's going with B. Question number 7 of 20. Cement Shoes. Yeah. But even though you guys were both late, you're both, you both made it. And you're more on time than those who are not here. Think of it that way. You guys are both earlier than Reichardt, if he makes it. Emily. Good evening, Emily. Emily has been a member for 37 months. Well, thank you very much, Emily. I really appreciate you being a channel member for 37 months. Wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. This content would not be here if it wasn't for my channel members. That's how all this is paid for, ladies and gentlemen. Because it is not paid for through ad revenue, especially when it comes to YouTube Shorts videos. All right, question number 7. The correct answer is B as in boy. Power and control is the second most reason why serial killers kill. Power and control. I thought it was going to be C, but apparently they're not doing it just to piss off Barry Morphew. But, see, I would have been wrong. Question number 8. What day of the week is the safest day of the week to be a hooker, a drug addict, or a drunk to avoid becoming the next victim of a serial killer? Is it A, Monday, B, Saturday, C, Thursday, or D, Wednesday? What day of the week is the safest day of the week to be a hooker, a drug addict, or a drunk to avoid becoming the next victim of a serial killer? Question number 8 of 20. You thought that would be number one, the last question? Wish real life would let me get here more often. Yeah, it happens, sweetheart. Life gets in the way. And I totally understand, but still appreciate you being here with me. What day of the week is the safest day of the week to be a hooker, a drug addict, or a drunk to avoid becoming the next victim of a serial killer? Oh, thank you, Emily. It's been quite a while since I've done, the Watts case. That's been years. But I really do appreciate you being here again. Interpeas Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Are we thinking of the Happy Days song? The Interpeas? I got that song in my head now. The Happy Days theme song. Oh boy. What day of the week is the safest day of the week to be a hooker, a drug addict, or a drunk to avoid becoming the next victim of a serial killer? The correct answer is C as in cat. Thursdays. Thursdays are the safest day of the week to avoid becoming a victim of a serial killer. I have no idea how they figured that out. Maybe because they were, the serial killers are more active on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe they're back at work Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I don't know, but they they figured out that the safest day of the week to avoid becoming a victim of a serial killer is on Thursday. I was not able to find the answer to why that is, though. I can only speculate on that. But Thursday. Question number 9. We don't wish to think about it. However, every murder by a serial killer is personal to a point. They want to see each take their last breath. Strangulation is number one method. What is number 2 method for killing and watching their victim take their last breath? Is it A, stabby stabby, B, poison, C, bing bang boom, or D, zappy little tabby? We don't wish to think about. However, every murder by a serial killer is personal to a point. They want to see each victim take their last breath. Strangulation is number 1 method. What is number 2? Question number 9 of 20. Reading victims of Chad Daybell books. Would you be a victim, or would that cause a higher spike in suicide rates? Reading Chad Daybell's books. That's torture in itself. Emily is going with A. Lieutenant RN, Gianna Marie, Sal, and Kitty Q are all going with A. Lemon pie. Natural causes is the next cause. They didn't Epstein themselves. Can you speed this up a little bit? Thank you, Thor. I appreciate it, but no. Question number 9. The correct answer is A as in apple. Stabby stabby is the number 2 method for the serial killers use to take their victims. When it comes to strangulation, though, better than 60% you prefer to use their hands, while others use either a rope or something else like a wire to dispatch the actual victim. All right, question number 10. Since 2001, a new method of hunting killing has risen in popularity with serial killers. What is it? Is it A, abduction and killing in forests? B, killing in workplaces? C, abduction, release, catch again, and kill? Or D, dating them and then killing them? Since 2001, a new method of hunting killing has risen in popularity with serial killers. What is it? Question number 10 of 20. What method has become more popular with serial killers since 2001? Kidakir's going with A, D for Lemon Pie, Little Linda, Sal, Gianna Marie, and the Morgan. And Sprinkle Donut is going with A, Lieutenant RN A as well. And Emily is going with D. Since 2001, what method has become more popular with serial killers? Purple is going with A as well. Question number 10 of 20. Inner P's. E. Bill Cosby. Drug them, then do what you want with them. Geez, 2001, 23 years ago. Just crazy, right? It doesn't seem like it's been that long ago. All right, the correct answer to question 10 is, in fact, A as in apple. Abductions and killings in the forest. We saw a lot of this with, with certain serial killers where they love to, abduct them and then take them out into the forest and do whatever they wanted, where they knew that nobody would be able to see them. Take them out of the forest and kill them, or in the desert, if you will, if they live in the desert of like Arizona or Colorado or someplace. That is the first 10 questions, ladies and gentlemen. We now will take our normal 6-minute break. Do what you need to do for the next 6 minutes. Smoke a bowl, drink a beer, get something to eat, use the facilities. You do what you need to do for the next 6 minutes. And then we'll be back here for the next 10 questions. Three for three. Woohoo! Yeah, it does surprise me how time has gone. Next week, my son will be 8 years old. 8. Next week. Cooling off period, right? Make yourself a margarita or a Mai Tai or a mojito or whatever you need. Smoke them if you got them. Do what you need to do. Oh, wait. Beer. LOL. Five minutes left of the break right now. 5 minutes. Doo, 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 doo. Ooh. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it has fallen an actual half of a degree since we started in 46 minutes ago. It is now 103.5 degrees. Huh? A half a degree. Wow, Will 8? That's great. Happy birthday to him. Well, thank you, Emily. Yeah, it's hard to believe. Then again, my daughter is 26. Just like that. One day you're bouncing them on your knee, the next thing they're asking for the car keys. It's just time just goes by. As they say, time keeps on ticking. Time keeps on ticking, ticking, ticking into the future. They say 8 is great. We keep on telling him that his birthday's next week, but he's like, I don't think he understands, or he hasn't expressed any, you know, um, happiness or anything about, his birthday coming up. He's actually counting down the days until he can go back to school. He wants to go back to school. I got to give it to the kid. He really, really likes going to school. 103, brutal, right? Will, mine are 25. Yeah, just like that, Kitty Q. 1 minute you look up and they're full grown adults and standing in front of you. Don't blink. Time goes by that fast. That is true. Yeah, Emily, when I started the stream, it was 104. Now it's 103.5, according to the. I have a toolbar at the bottom that tells me, the weather forecast for my area. It's a National Weather Service. Your oldest is 9, and my youngest is 6, and they both love school. And good evening, Heather, and welcome to tonight's trivia. We have approximately 2.5 minutes left of the break, and then we'll be back with the additional 10 questions, plus the case of missing and endangered. These are active, real cases that I present each week to everyone to try to get eyes on these people who are missing and endangered. They're called endangered because they do not know the circumstances necessarily for how they disappeared. They're just gone. I'm new. Well, I really hope that you enjoy tonight's trivia, the 10 questions that we still have left to come. We are less than, we got about 50 seconds left of the break. My hair has not shut off all day. Your air, not your hair, your air. Oh, we've got a mini split in here, a Mr. Cool unit, and it's dropped the temperature now in here to 74. It was 76 when I came in here. 30 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. 30 seconds. You found my channel yesterday? Well, I'm glad you found it, Heather. Welcome again. All the trivia questions are on little known facts about killers tonight. And we do this every single Sunday. At 4 o'clock East Pacific Coast time, 5 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock East Coast time. Question number 11 is now on your screen. Good day to die, so die, die, my darling, as a reference to the band, the Misfits song. What percentage of all serial killers get away for 1 year plus after their second murder? Is it A, 70%, B, 92%, C, 62%, or D, 40%? Die, 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 my darling. That is a Misfits reference. Misfits is a musical group. In case you don't know who the Misfits are. What percentage of serial killers get away for 1 year plus after their second murder? Jude. Good evening, Jude, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you are doing well. Thank you. Love the Misfits. I love the Misfits, as you know, as long as Glenn Danzig is there. We have coffee brew every Saturday at 8 a.m. as well. Yes, we do. Every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific Coast time, 9 o'clock on Mountain, and that's 11 in the afternoon on the East Coast of the United States. Sorry if I don't know the time zones for around the world in case anybody is outside of the U.S. One of these days I'm going to remember what it is for just Australia. Hey, Jinx the Kitty Q. I'm doing good. How's everyone? I'm doing great, Jude. I'm doing great. A little hot right now, but hey, I'll survive. Question number 11 of 20. The correct answer to question 11 is D as in dog. 40% get away for 1 year plus after their second murder. 40%. 40%. Jeez. Greece is 7 hours. 11 by 10 a.m. Central Time. All right. Question number 12. Oh, did you know? Popular culture. Sorry. Some serial killers are heavily influenced by books, movies, and other media. They may model their crimes after fictional characters or real-life murderers. They have learned about through various forms of entertainment. With the explosion of social media, it has definitely influenced how serial killers act, how they have changed their methods to torture and kill. Popular culture. Modeling their crimes after other serial killers or killers. And this is also, if you look at just the spree killers, those who have shot up their schools, every single one of the serial criminals who have shot their schools up, Columbine, Sandy Hook, you name it, every single one of them, they've all said that they got the idea because of what someone else did in popular culture and how they got their name out there, and everybody knows who they are. So the Dylan Klebold's of the world who shot up their schools did it in part, not entirely, but in part, because they wanted that notoriety for what somebody else did. They wanted to be famous like them. It's sad and sickening, but it's true. Dexter, for example, yeah, Dexter is definitely. We've seen some copycats of people who have definitely murdered and killed and tortured others because of the influence of Dexter from popular culture. Question number 12 of 20. Wearing any type of disguise to hide the face or features of a serial killer is exceptionally rare. How many serial killers in America have done so? Is it A, 31 in history have, B, 19 in history have, C, 11 in history have, or D, 42 in history have? wearing any type of disguise to hide the face or features of a serial killer is exceptionally rare. How many serial killers in America only have done so? We are only looking for the number of serial killers in America who have gone to any lengths at all to hide their actual appearance while committing their crimes. Question number 12 of 20. I've seen a lot of documentaries on Greece. The food looks amazing. Them hipster serial killers keeping up with the times. Cement shoes, 144,000. Question number 12. Ooh, missed someone. Just saw it go flying by. Hold on. Pedro Castro. Good evening, Pedro, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Sorry I missed you earlier. I saw it go flying by. The comment section sometimes can run a little bit fast. Oh, geez, Will, this one's impossible to know. LOL, great question. How many in history of America serial killers have actually done anything to disguise their actual, how they look, who they are? Everyone's going with C, so C it is. Says sprinkled donuts, donut, singular. Why do I always want to add an S to the end of donuts? It's like donut operator, you know, the YouTube creator, donut operator, former law enforcement. He doesn't have an S on, it's not donuts operator, it's donut. But for some reason, every time I think of the word donut, I add an S to it. Don't mean to, but I do. All right, the question number 12. Well, everyone was going with the 11 in history, and everyone who guessed C is correct. There have been a total of 11 serial killers who have done anything at all to disguise their actual appearance while committing their actual crimes. 11 in the history of the United States and known serial killers. 11. And of those 11, almost half of them, so if they're, you can't have an exact number for 11, but let's just say it was 5 or 6 or 5.5, right? All the serial killers used either a bandana or something simple that could be put on to actually disguise their actual facial features and who they were and what they looked like. But very few, it's exceptionally rare that serial killers will do anything. They want to look just like you and me and blend in. All right, question number 13. Everyone has fans. I even have a couple myself. Who figured? What percentage of females are sexually attracted to serial killers? We're looking for the percentage of women who are sexually attracted to known, caught, and incarcerated serial killers. What percentage of women are actually sexually attracted to them? Is it A, 10%, B, 3%, C, 2%, or D, 18%? Everyone has fans. I even have a couple myself. Who figured? What percentage of females are sexually attracted to serial killers? Question number 13. Crazies. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to call them crazy. And Kitty Q, I actually, I've done a lot of research into this, and it's really interesting why these people become, fascinated and reach out to serial killers and start relationships with them. And yes, some of them have even married serial killers. or killers who have gotten, maybe they kill 2 or 3 people, at the bare minimum, become a serial killer, but they did it all in a spree, like one act, who are doing like 1,000 years in prison. That's their sentence. And if they're lucky, they'll get on appeal, get it knocked down to like, 400 years. But it's easy to call them crazy. But apparently, a lot of these women who get into these relationships um, do it because of it's safe for them. They always know where he's going to be. They always know what he's going to be doing next, and they know that he is not going to hurt them physically. And so they maybe they were in a relationship, an abusive relationship in the past, and they start these relationships with these serial killers. Yeah, it's crazy on one aspect to say, why would you want to start a relationship with someone you know is never going to get out? You're never going to have an actual physical relationship with that person. But they do. Ted Bundy, the ladies' man. In the end, it's because they're crazy, right? Well, it's crazy and a little bit twisted, but you have to look at the psychology of it all. I mean, for the longest time, I just thought that they were nuts, but everyone has fans. Even I have a couple myself. Who figured? What percentage of females are sexually attracted to serial killers? The correct answer to question number 13 is very small. It's only C, 2%. 2% are sexually attracted to the actual person. And even if they marry them, they're only 2% are sexually attracted to them. More of them are attracted to the person who they are underneath. And, maybe that serial killer has an abusive story that they can relate to, themselves because they were abused as a child and an adult. And so is a serial killer. They're attracted more to them being a survivor and their intellect than anything else. Tamarin has been a member for 3 months. Well, thank you, Tamarin. I hope you had a great day and weekend. Do you know where your fiance is? Yeah, right. But thank you, Tamarin, for being a channel member. I really appreciate it. I hope the content is still up to your liking. All right, question number 14. Jeffrey Dahmer learned a lot of his skills and methods to preserve dead bodies from one man. Do you remember who that man was? Was it A, his cousin Roberto, B, his uncle, C, his father, or D, his second cousin twice removed who works at Baskin Robbins? And it's pretty serious. Jeffrey Dahmer learned a lot of his skills and methods to preserve dead bodies from one man. Do you remember who this man is? And sadly, I must report now that it is back up to 104 degrees outside. It was down at half a degree. Maybe there was a cloud or something in front of the sun, but that cloud has gone away. It is now 104 again. I have to find my 3-digit code. B as in boy, says Pedro. Pedro Castro. Going with B. Summit Shoes is going with C and lemon pie. Pat Sajak. I'd like to buy a vowel, Pat. His second cousin twice removed who works at Baskin Robbins. It's pretty serious. Sam the Butcher, Al's his boyfriend from the Brady Bunch. Oh, I went to Baskin Robbins today. A hot scoop of pralines and caramel cream. Ooh, that sounds good. Am I in Death Valley? No, I'm in Washington State. The July and August are the hottest months where I live. It is very common for every single day to be in the triple digits during the month of July and August here. I live in what is called a semi-desert. Washington State is the only state in the nation that has every single temperate zone except for a tropical rainforest. We have rainforest, but we do not have a tropical rainforest. We have every one but a tropical rainforest. We have deserts, high mountain plateaus. We've got forests. We've got everything in this damn state. But yet I live in the semi-desert where it's hot. Kitty Coo, got an A? Lemon pie, I'd like to buy a vowel. Heather's going with B, his uncle. Purple is going with C. All right, question number 14. The correct answer is none other than C, as in cat. His father. His father taught him how to collect dead animals alongside the road and encouraged Jeffrey to preserve them. And he showed him how to preserve the dead animals in jars, buckets, and barrels. So Jeffrey would go walking along the county roads looking for dead raccoons and squirrels and whatever. And then him and his dad would go collect them up. And then sometimes his dad showed him how to take acid and remove all the muscle tissue, and then be able to reconstruct the actual skeleton of the animal itself. And in case you're wondering, no, his father is not a serial killer. His father is a very well-respected scientist. And he was never thinking that Jeffrey was going to take these skills and become a perverse pleasure for killing other people. It was something for them to bond over, and that's something that they did together. No, they never got into really like taxidermy, but they did do a lot of birds and a lot of squirrels and other small animals that had been killed, and then preserved the skeletal makeup of the actual animal itself. And others they preserved in formaldehyde and other liquids. And I don't know if his dad would have kept him after Jeffrey, was arrested for murder, but his father is the one who taught him all of the skills that he needed to preserve humans in barrels. You should watch The Curious Creation of Christine McDonald if you like story long baking, cooking, spooky stuff. The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell. Huh. Daddy was a sick man, though, in some ways. Gee, my dad taught me how to hunt and not to preserve, right? But my father taught me how to fish and how to respect the land. That everything, that we eat and live and survive by. My father wasn't much of a hunter. All right, question number 15. Nope, sorry, before 15, motivation. While some serial killers are driven by a desire for power and control, others may be motivated by the need for attention, financial gain, or even a twisted sense of love or revenge. Understanding these various motives can provide insight into their complex psychologies. Did you know that? All right, now, question number 15. No one gets out of this life alive. Of all the murders that happen each year in the U.S., how many are serial killer related? Is it A, 1%, B, 8%, C, 39%, or D, 4%? Well, you got to write it down and look it up. Yes. McConnell. And I have, Kitty Coo. I just wrote it down. Thank you very much. I will look into it. Everyone always trying to blame their cousin Roberto, right? Inner peas, the whole enchilada. Pedro is going with A as in apple, 1%. Cameron is going with B. Kitiku is going with B, question mark. Morgan, B, I don't know. The emoji. Leolinda, B as well. Emily is going with D, purple A. 100% is great. It's great, as Tony the Tiger would say. No one gets out of this life alive. Of all the murders that happen each year in the U.S., how many are serial killer related? Question number 15. The correct answer is A as in apple, 1%. 1% of all murders that happen every single year in the United States are serial killer connected. 1%. You have much higher likelihood of meeting a serial killer if you live in a major metropolitan area and you walk around within the actual business district of an actual major metropolitan area like downtown Seattle or Houston, Texas, or New York City, New York. If you walk around the downtown area, the chances are you will have met or seen a serial killer will pass you somewhere in one of those metropolitan areas. At least they say that statistically. That's what the greatest odds are. I don't know. I met one at a grocery store. Oh, did you know early warning signs? Many serial killers exhibit troubling behavior in childhood or adolescence. These can include cruelty to animals, arson, and bedwetting beyond an appropriate age. This tirade of behaviors is known as the McDonald tirade and is often cited as the potential early indicator for violent tendencies. Early warning signs of serial killers. Are we on 17 or did we skip one? Nope, and we did. We skipped number 16. Well, you got a little sneak peek at number 17. Question number 16. Serial killers are working smarter than they ever did, ranking them in order of most likely to die. Hookers are number 1. Runaways are number 2. Where are drug addicts? Are they A, 3rd, B, 4th, C, 5th, or D, 7th? Gas station. I worked at a fast station for 12 years and I've seen some things. Oh, I bet you have, Heather. I would never want to work at a gas station. I got a friend of mine who used to work at a local Union 76 gas station. I always worried about her working, especially in a night shift. Oh boy, the freaks that come in and late at night into places like that. Not only to get gas, but that gas station was about 8 blocks, or not even 8 blocks, so 2, 3, about 4.5 blocks to the freeway. So it's right off of the freeway. Serial killers are working smarter than they ever did, ranking them in order of most likely to die. Or hookers are number 1, runaways are number 2. Where are drug addicts? Question number 16 of 20. Where are drug addicts? Question number 16. I thought B, but what would number 3 be? Purple is going with B. Kitty Q and Sal are going with A. Lemon Pie B, and Little Linda A. What is? Do you think that the guy that called Howard Stern's radio claiming to was a serial killer was legit? That's a good question, Pedro. I don't know. I've heard the audio of it. It sounded pretty legit, but then again, we've got a couple people who are here in the actual chat right now who are writers. I mean, if I gave them a couple of things, I said, write me a script about that I'm going to read off to be a serial killer on a call-in talk show on nationally televised, syndicated radio show. I mean, I could probably come off and sound like a serial killer if I or they could if they wrote the script out and did it. If DA isn't third, what would be? All right, question number 16. Where are drug addicts? The correct answer to question number 16 is A as in apple. They are number 3. Hookers are number 1. Runaways are number 2. And drug addicts, and when you clump people into drug addicts, it's drug addicts and alcoholics because alcohol is a drug. Somehow a mosquito got in here, but his time on this earth has passed. Mr. Mosquito is not going to make it home to Mrs. Mosquito tonight. We had a young woman kidnapped and killed years ago from a gas station. Jessica Hearing was her name. I think there was a video on her on YouTube. Going with C for addicts. Ooh. Now the addicts, drug addicts, are number 3, right after runaways. All righty. Next, early warning signs. Many serial killers exhibit troubling behavior in childhood and adolescence, and these can include cruelty to animals, arson, and bedwetting beyond the appropriation. This is a tirade of behavior known as the McDonald tirade. It is often cited as a potential early indicator for violent tendencies, and we already read that. Next, we are now on to question number 17. Killing others used to be easier to get away with. How you now you can't get victims to put down their damn phones. How many people did Richard Ramirez kill? Was it A, 17 to 19, B, 1 to 4, C, 13 to 16, or D, 20 to 25? Killing others used to be easier to get away with. Now you can't get the victim to put down their damn phones. How many people did Richard Ramirez kill? Question number 17 of 20. And yes, I am sorry that for some reason the slide slipped down there for the question into the other box. How many people did Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, how many did he kill? Will, do you know what number 4 was? For which question, Kitty Coo? On the last one about which one is number 4 for likelihood to be murdered by a serial killer, with prostitutes being number 1, runaways number 2, where drug addicts number 3. Do I know what number 4 is for that one? No, I did not write any notes down for that one. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed. Da, 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 da. How many people did Richard Ramirez kill? Question number 17 of 20. I got to go get myself another water. I keep a whole refrigerator out here just outside my studio, stocked full of Pure Life water. Super cheap to buy bottled water if you buy it when it's not, consumed. Like buy bottled water in the wintertime. Telling you, you can get it so much cheaper than the summertime when it's hot. Heather is going with C, and so is Sprinkled Donut is going with C as well. But I bought five cases of bottled water at Costco. Filled up an entire flat cart, just water. Well, I don't normally like to buy with the single use plastics like this, but my daughter is actually cutting them up in little pieces, and they're saving them in Ziploc bags for a friend of hers who is going to then turn them into filament thread for their 3D printer. They melt it down and then they turn it into thread. So it's going to get more than one use. Everything except for the caps. But apparently they've done this multiple times. So they do it with the same plastic that you use for your laundry detergent, which just fill up the damn landfills anyways. All right, question number 17. The correct answer is C as in cat. 13 to 16 victims were killed by Richard Ramirez. Some people put it higher, but 13 to 16 is the correct answer for the question. Question number 18. Again, this one dropped down again. I don't know why it's doing that. According to the FBI research, as of 7/10 of 2020, how many victims of serial killers have never been found? We are looking for the answers between 1970 and the year 2000. How many victims of serial killers, known serial killers who have been caught, researched by the FBI, how many of their victims have never been found? Is it A, 500 to 770, B, 300 to 490, C, 100 to 150, or D, 800 to 2,000 victims? According to the FBI research as of 7/10/2020, how many victims of serial killers have never been found? You leave it to the next generation. They're finding ways to fix all the things that we screwed the hell up. They've invented a way to get rid of the plastic islands that are floating off the coast. They're picking that plastic up. They're working on getting countries like India and Vietnam and other places in the Pacific Rim to stop dumping their trash into the ocean. Because in some parts of the world, you can go to the beaches and all it is it's not even sand anymore. It's just tiny little micro pellets of actual plastic. We're killing the oceans faster and faster. Mr. Castro is going B as in bat. Question number 18 of 20. All right, the correct answer for question number 18 is, in fact, B as in bat. As Pedro said, B as in bat. 300 to 490 victims known of serial killers who have been caught, prosecuted, and studied and are in institutions right now. Between 300 and 490 victims of known serial killers who have been studied have never been found. A lot of serial killers out there don't exactly dump their victims in alleyways and other places. Of the 97 known victims of Samuel Little, of those, they only know of a total of 68 of what happened to 68 of those victims. They were either found, alongside of a road, they were dumped in, a like a brush field, and somebody stumbled upon them, a dead person there. But only 68 of the known 97 actual victims of Samuel Little's have ever been found. Some of them he dumped in more remote areas outside of the city limits. And geography has changed so much over the years. It could be underneath a parking lot now, or a housing development, kind of like the plot to a couple movies there. I hope they find a way to get rid of insurance too. Biggest scam ever. Well, if you don't use it often, I've been paying for insurance pretty much my entire adult life: auto insurance, home insurance, renters insurance. And I've used my insurance once. I've had one claim, and that was because my wife got her car got rear-ended while she was sitting at a stoplight. One time. Yeah, I guess it's a scam, but until you have to pay for it all yourself, replace it. Question number 19. Charles Manson's mother was an extremely abusive woman. She couldn't and wouldn't even try to care for him. She once traded him for what? Was it A, crack cocaine, B, heroin and cheeseburgers, C, a keg of beer and pizza, or D, whiskey and ramen noodles? Charles Manson's mother was an extremely abusive woman. She couldn't and wouldn't even try to care for him. She once traded him for what? I'm sure Israel Keys has many more victims we'll never find. Oh yeah. Well, if we just look at all the different geographic locations across the United States where Israel Keys actually hid what he called his kill kits. These are 5-gallon buckets that he would put all the essential items that he needed to commit crimes in different geographic locations, from Alaska going all the way to the east coast of the United States. He buried these kits everywhere. Some of them, if he committed crimes, he probably dug them up. But after he was caught, he certainly wasn't going to tell the law enforcement where he committed all his crimes and where he hid all these kill kits. And we know Israel Keys, Jeffrey Epstein himself behind bars. So we'll never know. And appease, donuts. Pedro is going with C as in car. Sprinkled donut, a mountain lion. He's traded him for a mountain lion. But this really did happen. This is not, something made up. His mother actually traded him for something. How do you trade your own flesh and blood away to somebody else for one of the items that is listed there in front of you? That is just crazy. I could never imagine even thinking of doing something like that. All right, question number 19. The correct answer is C as in cat. She traded Charles with a woman and a man. There were two of them. But she traded him for a keg of beer and one large pizza. And what was on the pizza? I don't know. I don't know if it was sausage or pepperoni or Canadian bacon and pineapple. I have no idea. It doesn't mention what the toppings of the pizza was. But she traded him for a keg of beer and a pizza. And then they had a party. But luckily, the person who traded the keg of beer and the pizza for Charles Manson knew that the family and quickly got Charles back to the family itself. They had no intention of keeping Charlie for the keg of beer and a pizza, but they figured they would step in and stop this from going on. And from that moment on, Charlie never lived with mommy anymore. Pineapple pizza could have been lemon pie, could have been. All right, question number 20. Little Petey, the Brazilian serial killer, killed more people behind the prison walls than he did before going to prison. How many did he kill? Was it A, 70 men, B, 60 men, C, 46 men couldn't make it to 50, or D, 40 men? Little Petey, the Brazilian serial killer, killed more people behind the prison walls than he did before going to prison. How many did he kill? Question number 20. Oh my gosh. Uh, Thank you very much, Emily. I really appreciate that. Wow, that was super nice of you to do that. And Crispy Treat. Well, good evening, Crispy Treat. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that you were here all along. I mean, we do definitely get a lot of people who listen and follow along, but don't necessarily comment. But I hope you had a great weekend and you've enjoyed the trivia. Kitty Coo is going with D and lemon pie. C. Pedro D as in dog. Emily D as well. Sprinkle donut. G. Anna Marie is going with C. Little Petey, the Brazilian serial killer, killed more people behind prison walls than he did before going to prison. How many did he kill? Question number 20 of 20. Don't take off because we still have our missing and endangered individual. These are real cases of people who very well you may know something about or seen. They're from all over the United States of America. But Little Petey, that was what he was known as. His nickname was Little Petey. He was a small stature of a man. But how many did he kill behind bars, ladies and gentlemen? He killed 46 members of a gang while he was in prison. He killed 46 men behind bars in the prison in Brazil. He started with certain members, and then and to stop the retaliation against him, he just kept on killing them all until he damn near wiped out every single member of the gang while he was in prison. 46 men behind bars. How many did Little Petey kill before he went to prison? 5. 5 is the answer. He killed 5 people before going to prison and killed 46 behind bars. All right. All of the questions you will see, the cases that you will see from here on out, come to us. And while with me working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Charlie Project, the FBI, and Name Us. And those are links to them in connection with local and law enforcement and federal law enforcement agencies, the FBI.gov, and that's a clickable link, along with Name Us, a clickable link. No one on YouTube or social media, aside from myself, has collaborated with more law enforcement agencies to provide more accurate information on these cases. And you are welcome for that. I can't believe that no one else wants to do it, but I do. Our case tonight is Ashley Summers, and that is a link to the FBI where her case was presented from. She's 5'5", weight, between 120 and 135 pounds. She was last seen July 7th or 8th of 2007. Details known about Ashley's disappearance was she was last seen near her family home. Ashley did not walk away from her home on her own. Someone helped her or did something to her. Little is known about but we do know is that she wouldn't have stayed away and out of contact for so long if she was able to contact her family. At the time of her disappearance, I believe she was 17 years old, or 14 years old, somewhere in there. These are additional photos of Ashley. You will also note that she has a tattoo. This is an actual tattoo, not one that looks like it was drawn with a marker on her upper right arm, on the just below the shoulder, on the upper right arm, of a heart with the word Gene in it. You can leave a tip by clicking the FBI or going to the FBI's missing center. And if you know anything about what happened to her, she disappeared in broad daylight, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go back to the other photo because that is this is the age enhanced photo of what she would look like in 2024. This is not what she looked like the day of disappearance. The day of disappearance, well, it's a week prior, but the bottom right photo of it's in black and white. Unfortunately, that is the only photo that they have on the case, is these three. But that was taken a week prior. So long brown hair at the time when she disappeared, because you can get that from the upper photo. But she disappeared and nobody knows what happened to her. Her family needs closure. And if you've seen or know anything about Ashley, has she been trafficked in some way? Did somebody, force her to leave and she hasn't, gone back home or contacted her family since 2007? We don't know. But the chances are she is out there somewhere. How did you do on trivia tonight? You can give yourself a letter grade. This is completely optional. Some people like to do it, some people don't. Did you get 14 to 18 right? 8 to 13, 3 to 7, 1 to 2, or hell, I don't keep track. I am an E. Don't judge me. I am a mountain lion expert. On this channel, you will note that we have a series of jokes, inside jokes that we kind of poke fun at. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, we joke about them being, and you'll see people say 144,000, as in a reference to the book of Revelations. But Chad and Lori believe that they were picked to actually lead those to the other side of the veil and lead the 144,000 from the book of Revelations to the promised, afterlife. You'll also see jokes about, Barry Morphew and the Jersey Shore. Can we pick on them and poke fun at them because they're ridiculous? But it's completely optional. You do not have to give yourself a letter grade. Not that it matters, but Purple got an A. Well, congratulations, Purple. All right, of the 20 questions that were on tonight's trivia, prior to putting this together, I knew exactly 9 of the 20 before putting this together. Some of them I had no idea. Mountain lions matter. Funny, Emily. NRP's L for loser. You're an E. E for entertaining, NRPs. You are always entertaining here. These cases are always so sad, missing a loved one, not knowing. They are. But next week, I hope to have more, because this is the first week where I am actually working with every single one as a collaboration. to put forward at least 1 to 2 of those that they believe are still solvable. And Ashley's case is still what they believe is still solvable. Even though she's not been heard of since 2007, they believe that the chances are she is alive and she is out there, and that maybe someone is stopping her from being able to contact her family or go back home. But the FBI, name us, the Charlie Project, and the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I'm working with all 4 of them now. Thanks, Will. You have a great week and good night. Sal, you as well. And thank you again for being here with us for tonight's trivia. Inner Peas, Mountain Lion, give a chance. Give a mountain lion a chance. And likewise, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last night of trivia, where it is this kind of a hodgepodge of questions. Next week and for the foreseeable future, until I end up with more of these questions, saved up, that next week we'll be back to one individual, one criminal that we will do trivia on, and so on and so on from every night going forward. But I come up with these trivia questions, and I always end up with 1 or 2 extra that never make it into trivia. And then I take them and I just save them, into a PDF file until I end up with 20, 40, 60 of them, and then I use them up, in a style like this. Bill Morgan, great job as always. Well, thank you. I hope someone says something too. That is true, Emily. If you see something, say something. Stay safe, Sal, and everybody out there. Mountain Lion for president. I'd vote for that. Hands doing a high five. Well, thank you very much, Emily, for the super chat. I appreciate that, and for the gift memberships as well. Again, I cannot express just how much I appreciate each and every one of you just being here tonight with me to do the trivia. And I like the hodgepodge trivia, says Sprinkled Donut. Well, I have to use them up. I mean, I have a lot of them, but not anymore. I used them all up the last 3 weeks. We've used up all 60 of the ones that I had, in reserve. Oh, hopefully next week, and those who like Sprinkled Donut, and see Sprinkled Donut. Well, she's not here anymore. She's mad at me. So, but Kitty Q, both of you, I will give advance notice to. I will email you both, like before, so you'll get notice of who next week's trivia is on. We were up to like 9 people at one time, and then we're down to 3. Now it's just the 2 of you who wanted to know, so you could actually, brush up on, a little bit of history on that individual. Some people just get hurt by, and they take things out of context. You can't make everybody happy. You can't please everybody either. I enjoyed the live. Thank you for having me. Oh, thank you, Heather, for being here with us. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon. If you like the trivia night, don't forget to give it a thumbs up on the way out the door. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here for trivia night tonight. But with that, I'm going to wrap up trivia night, and I'm going to bid you all a good night and hope that you have a safe week ahead, and I hope that you're able to stay cool. If you're really getting to that point where you need to cool down and you don't have AC like Inner Peas, go to the mall, go window shopping in the mall somewhere, or find a cooling center. Whatever you need to do. Put a cool towel, a wet towel around your neck, that put in the refrigerator and cool it down before you put it on yourself. But everyone, thank you again. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here for trivia night. And I will see you all again soon. Bye. Well, thank you, Lemon Pie. And everyone, good night.